Yes!
Megaman X2, still straight thuggin'.
Welcome to a brand new episode of The Completionist, and today guys we are playing the sequel in one of my favorite games of all time, Mega Man X, and the sequel is Mega Man X2!
Wait, didn't we play all of Mega Man X2 on Super Beard Brothers Deluxe?
So yes, on our second channel, which is Super Beard Brothers, we do a Let's Play trivia show with fun factoids while I complete the games, a behind the scenes look at The Completionist, and yes, we did that, so we're gonna take the trivia we learned, all the jokes we accumulated over there, and combine it into one awesome episode of The Completionist. There you go.
Don't we need Alex, though?
Hey, how long are you there? I've been here the whole time. You didn't even want to say hello?
No.
Mega Man X2, Capcom's second excellent entry in the Super Nintendo adaptation of its classic Mega Man series.
But Beardman, this looks exactly like a regular Completionist episode. I thought it was going to be a special Super Beard Brothers edition. I love Super Beard Brothers. It's the best show of all time. How's this going to work?
Calm down, Greg. Super Beard Brothers Enhanced episodes work almost exactly like normal, with me talking about the game, and you being
hilarious all the time.
Right. That's pretty debatable. But when we ever get to a point with a relevant piece of insight from our Super Beard Brothers show, a chime will play and Alex will just pop right in and handle it. Let's try it.
When this series was originally released in the US, Capcom was worried that the American audience wouldn't understand the difference between Mega Man X and the original Mega Man, so they just had everyone refer to him as Mega Man throughout the game.
See? Wasn't that cool, Greg? Thanks, Alex.
Please let me out of this room.
No! Let's move on to story.
Six months after the events of Mega Man X and the destruction of Sigma, a new Maverick uprising is stirring under the command of a mysterious group who call themselves the X-Hunters. On top of the resurrecting of Sigma, the X-Hunters are also trying to secure the broken pieces of X's dear friend Zero, who let himself be destroyed at the climax of Mega Man X1.
It may be Sigma's master plan to have X and Zero kill each other, but Zero's not the only one who had to be rebuilt. Sigma's new body, with his long black cape and claws, reminds me of Dark Claw, a mixture of Batman and Wolverine from Amalgam Comics in the mid-90s.
Wow, what a wonderful factoid! I can't wait to see what other stuff from this game reminds you of.
Come on, I love old weird comic books.
Anyways, Dr. Kane tasks X with keeping Zero's parts out of the X-Hunters' hands and stopping the resurrection of Sigma. Of course, X cannot do it without defeating the 8 Maverick Masters.
Dr. Kane? Is he a robot?
What? No. Why?
For some reason, I seem to remember like a fatherly old robot with a mustache.
I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
Oh! I remember now. Do you folks out there ever remember watching the old Saturday morning Sonic TV show?
Oh no.
Yeah, you're talking about Chuck.
That's right, Daddy-O. I'm talking about Chuck Hedgehog.
Yeah, you are. Hell yeah.
Well guys, that was awesome. This episode's shaping up very nicely so far. You guys are the bestest friends a guy could ever have.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You are so welcome.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome.
The original Mega Man X was gorgeous, and X2 only improves on the original. Each stage is satisfyingly lush and complex, and each of them feels totally new and unique.
Keiji Inafune, the designer of Mega Man and Mega Man X, prides himself on being a man who never repeats himself. That's why all the power-ups and abilities vary so greatly between games, and why originally he wanted to have Zero be the protagonist of the Super Nintendo series.
Mega Man X2 is a living, breathing example of 16-bit art design, and its bright, bold, colorful style makes it feel absolutely timeless. It's great!
As many of you already know, the Super Nintendo was built expandable so that cartridges could include extra chips for better graphics processing. In Mega Man X2, this is called the CX4 chip. That's why some of the boss fights are so memorable.
In fact, every last one of the bosses is interesting and well designed. Remember Crystal Snail? Man, that fight was nuts. I mega clenched the whole way through.
We officially used Clenched in a Completionist episode. Gotta love that crossover weirdness. Yeah, don't know what I'm talking about? Watch Super Beard Bros.
Okay, Greg, let's not shove it down everyone's throats. Though the 100% fan-made and fully comprehensive wiki is pretty dope. Check it out, help fill it in, it's pretty awesome.
Game?
My bad, sorry, I get it. Alex, why don't you tell everyone about X's armor?
Keiji Inafune got the idea for giving X upgradable armor that grants him different abilities from all the various JRPGs that the SNES was so famous for at the time.
That's right, and like the armor piece capsules, each of the different weapons you collect from the Maverick Masters looks cool and has a unique effect, attack style, and purpose. Especially Wire Sponge's strike chain, which kind of looks like a dill.
Whoa! Hold your horses, everybody! Hi there, it's me, the internet's Jesse Cox. While The Completionist is normally a family-friendly show, the answer to just what it is the strike chain reminds Gerard of is set squarely in the realm of mature audiences only. Suffice it to say, it eventually sends Alex into a spirited description of a documentary he once saw about the mating rituals of sperm whales. We're gonna play that clip from Super Beard Brothers for y'all right now. If you are easily offended or of a young and corruptible age, call me. This next section is not for you. Click the link to skip it. Otherwise, enjoy this clip from Super Beard Brothers Deluxe, presented here unedited for your viewing pleasure. Also note, this clip takes place at the end of the game, so skip if you want to avoid spoilers as well. This has been the internet's Jesse Cox, bidding you on to do.
Which kind of looks like a dildo. I don't know how we got from dildo to whales, though.
Because look, the woman whale rolls around.
Are we really getting into this? The finale of Mega Man X2?
The woman whale?
Yeah, the lady whale. The fee whale, if you will. She rolls around like trying her best not to have sex with this dude. And the dude is also rolling around trying his best to have sex with her. And I believe this was sperm whales that I saw. But the ween is like prehensile. And it moves around like a snake or a tentacle and like tries its best to get in.
What more is there to say about the gameplay of the Mega Man X series? As everyone on YouTube out there can probably agree, it's excellent. But what new stuff does Mega Man X2 bring to the table that improves upon the first? Not much, to be honest, but just enough. In fact, it pretty much just takes the ideas from the first game and expands upon them in fresh new ways.
Oh, you like the dashing from the first game? Now you can do it from the beginning. What does the leg part do now then? Makes you dash in the air!
Exactly, and this is how it is pretty much across the board. X2's armor pieces makes it even easier to explore all the levels. The various collectible weapons have even more uses besides hurting specific bosses. Hell, even the battle armor units have been upgraded and look way more badass. It's just everything from Mega Man X, but bigger.
There's also some more subtle improvements that tighten the game up a little too, like being able to stock up on health and weapons more easily with head parts in the Silk Shot, and having the armor pieces each reduce weapons' energy usage.
You know, I actually kind of like that chime. It makes you seem like a little fairy. Like a little bearded Tinkerbell.
I'm a magical fairy.
So within our plot, we know that we've got 3 X-Hunters designed to kill Mega Man X and retrieve the 3 pieces of Zero, which is literally quite game-changing. On the main overworld hub, you will see there are 3 Maverick Hunter logos scattered around the map. Those logos represent the current location of the X-Hunters. If you're prone to finding secrets, this is a fun side quest as you can fight your way through 3 X-Hunters: Agile, Sergeus, and Violin. Defeating them will earn you one of the 3 pieces of Zero's body armor. It's incredibly important to do this before you run out of bosses to fight. Defeating all the main stage bosses before defeating the Hunters will cause you not to save Zero. With that said, like Mega Man X1, it's also important to obtain all the heart pieces, energy tanks, and body armor pieces if you want to get the special move, but we'll talk about that in the completion bonus section later on.
The origin of the completion bonus for the show The Completionist stems from Gerard's passion for completing the game Donkey Kong Country 2, which is why you hear the theme every time in the show.
Wait, we do trivia about the Completionist on Beard Bros?
Yeah, sometimes.
So magical! So you've beaten all the Maverick Masters, and now, whether or not you successfully save Zero, it's time to take the fight to Sigma. First, you have to destroy the X-Hunters. If you already saved Zero, then you're already well acquainted. Otherwise, meet Violin, Agile, and Sergeys.
Violin? You gotta fight a violin? Look out, Chiraco! It's Stradivarius the Destroyer!
No, Greg, not Violin. Violin! You know, actually, you know what? I have no idea where any of their names come from.
Violin, Agile, and Sergeys are actually transliterations of French words describing their fighting styles. Violin is violent, Agile is agility, and Sergeys is a corruption of the word sagesse, which means wisdom.
But aren't Stradivarii Italian?
Yes.
Each of the 3 X-Hunters have their own levels that you have to fight your way through, and at the end of the stages, you have to fight a more difficult version of them. After you finally defeat the 3, you then have to take on the teleporter room, where you fight each of the 8 Maverick Masters yet again.
Sorry, just chiming in because I think I'm going crazy. You have to fight all the bosses again? I've never seen a more obvious attempt at padding out a game's length.
Ooh, a fair point. Is Mega Man X pulling a Gunstar Heroes on us? We just fought all of these guys. There's not even anything different about them. What's the deal with that?
I don't know, guys. I think you're being a little unfair. The Mega Man X series, let alone the original Mega Man games, were about progression, you know? Reaping the benefits of your hard work. When you refight all the bosses at the end of the game, you shouldn't be feeling gypped. You should be thinking, man, I had some tough times beating these guys without my powers, but now I have new powers and skills. I feel awesome to just kick their butts with all this amazing new full power status.
Yeah, and I guess Sigma had backups just in case Mega Man destroyed the originals. Good thinking, you nasty war criminal, you.
Right, so then you meet Sigma in his new form, when he's looking all smug. If you save Zero, he reveals his black armored imitation, in which the real Zero shows up and just obliterates him. However, if you fail to save Zero, you have a very tough fight ahead. I had never encountered Zero before we played it on Beard Brothers, and I definitely say that he's by far the toughest challenge in the game.
So, Sigma's not that tough?
Not really. I mean, granted, I've played this game millions of times, but honestly, as long as you're familiar with Mega Man, just make sure you've got full health and some tanks going in, and you'll probably do just fine.
Fun fact, on Super Beard Bros, Gerard was actually able to defeat Sigma while answering and taking a phone call from Josh Mattingly at Indie Static.
As I've already mentioned, Zero parts and collectible armor pieces are optional extras in Mega Man X2, but there's also a ton more.
Every stage is hiding a heart tank, which extends your life bar, and Bubble Crab, Flame Stag, Magna Centipede, and Wire Sponge also each have a sub-tank, which allow you to stockpile extra health to use in tight spots.
Each of the Zero parts are also guarded by one of the X-Hunters, and each boss fight is tougher than any of the Mavericks, especially because their weaknesses aren't very obvious.
Let's see. So Violin's weak against bubbles because obviously water would ruin a violin, and Agile's weak to magnets because, okay, it's the magnet slowing him down in his metal armor, and Sergey is weak to a speed-based weapon because old man can't go fast? What's the logic behind any of this? And why does Sergey's look so familiar?
Actually, it's a widely held fan theory that Sergeys is actually a new robotic body for Dr. Wily, the main antagonist of the original Mega Man series. There's also evidence that Wily's the inventor of Zero.
Scandalous backstory or not, to complete this game, he's got to be defeated. And then, once Zero's secure and you've collected all the heart and sub-tanks for a totally perfect run, you'll also need the Shoryuken. It's immensely powerful, and as long as you have full health, just perform it right out of Street Fighter 2. X can literally one-shot every boss in the game.
Chuck Hedgehog would be proud.
Heck yeah, he would.
Yeah!
Anyways, here's how it's done. Once you've collected every other item in the game and find about halfway through the third and final of the X-Hunter levels, there's a secret area where you can find a capsule that contains the Shoryuken move. Here's a clip of us getting it on Beard Brothers, and let us know, do you think it's pretty clench? As clench as it was to get that final move, Mega Man X2 honestly wasn't that much of a challenge. Granted, I might be biased here, but Mega Man X2 is pretty easy and maybe not quite as good as the first game. Of course, it's still a great game, and I definitely like it better than its so-so sequel, Mega Man X3. Also, I miss the boss select music from Mega Man X.
Come on, let's put on the big boy pants and lob some real-ass criticism at Mega Man X2.
Alright, here it goes. While it's fun to trial and error out of the proper boss order and exploit all the proper weaknesses, sometimes having the right weapon neutered the boss too much and made the boss fights so easy, I stopped having fun. Yes, in Mega Man X1 that was the case at times, but the levels were dynamic enough to match the boss fights. All in all, this game is really darn good. I enjoyed every minute of it, and while it's not my favorite in the series, being able to play with you guys there and with all the fans following along, it made it really fun. If you haven't checked out Beard Bros yet, you really should join us. It's not just a funny, informative Let's Play show, it's also a great way for all of us to hang out with you guys together a little bit every day, and I think that's awesome.
Mega Man X2 is a fantastic sequel. Sure doesn't improve much from the first one, but has some fun creative boss fights like the first one, and the upgrades are pretty much worth it. And the freaking Shoryuken is probably, to me, in my eyes, a way superior completion bonus than the Hadouken from the first game.
It's a dope move.
Yeah. The game's... Oh, go ahead.
Now we know more about whales than we ever wanted to know. Hey. Thanks, Alex.
Hey, man.
You speed demon.
That's me.
The game is relatively short, it's easy and concise, so if you're playing it, why not complete it? That's all the time we have for today, guys, so leave your suggestions for the future of the show. If you liked Super Beard Brothers when we did today here on The Completionist, please check out our second channel. We have a blast, it's so much fun. We do trivia and all kinds of fun, creative gameplay stuff. It's a new video every day of the week. And the most important thing too is that it's a real nice behind the scenes look at upcoming episodes of The Completionist, and you kind of see how Greg and Alex and myself write some of the jokes we come up with. Right now we're doing Wild Arms, we're finishing up Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and we just started Donkey Kong Country. So, you know, if you like those games, give it a look.
Give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. Give it a Wally's World.
Give it a squirrel.
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 Squirrely.
Give it a squirrel.
Give it a squirrel.
Give it a squirrel.
Give it away, give it away, give it a squirrel now.
Give it away, give it away, give it a squirrel now.
Can't move, addicted to the squirrel now.
Now, if you excuse us, Alex is probably going to sing Speed Demon, so prepare.
Ready for the border.
That's it? Nothing else you want to add?
Speed!